Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, a live stream and podcast. Let's zoom out a little bit, shall we? Bon fin de semana to you, making our way towards the weekend. Bit of Feelgood Friday fun here between now and 10 o'clock. And you may have noticed our opening wasn't an opening meme this morning. It was an opening slide, a public service announcement, a PSA. Summer hours start on Monday. Now, it's this coming Monday, the 27th. So the new show time for the GMP, this show, the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and the podcast from 9 until 10 a.m. So an hour-long podcast, that means. Let me just take your wonderful comment off the screen there. João Ernesto de Norte. Bom dia, alegria, Portugal! And remember to caress that like button message as well. Yeah, our summer opening hours, our show time for summer will be between 9 and 10. So nothing changing with the guest lineup, but we'll be starting at 9, finishing at 10, or thereabouts, probably 1 minute past 9, 3 or 4 minutes past 10, as we often do. And of course, open 24/7 at gmpvip.com, the Portugal Club. So you can always get your fix of gumperdom and connect with other gumpers at the Portugal Club. Any time of the night or day. You can direct message people there as well, of course, and read what we've been contributing together onto the timeline and into the classroom at theportugalclub.com. But just so you know, come 8:30 or 8:35 next Monday, and you're thinking, what's happening? Why is Carl so late this morning? It's because we're starting at 9. And the guest schedule stays the same. So James will, of course, join me straight away as we begin the show next Monday morning. All your favorite co-hosts and guests, their slots stay exactly the same. And even your not favorite co-hosts and guests, their slots are staying the same as well. And this is an experiment for summer. I think people have a little bit less time to be in front of the screen come the summertime. So let's see how that goes, and we'll find out from next Monday, the 27th. How are you doing today? Do let me know in the chat. We've got Colleen Showalter of Portugal The Place joining us this morning. And there seem to be 2 co-working spaces opening up on the Silver Coast this weekend. There's one in Alcobaça, and it might be that a gentleman called Antonio, whose mate is Nelson, who's opening up the he's talking about cheese workshops. I don't think that's... Oh, he does... Antonio, we can talk to Antonio about his tour company as well. That's great. And thank you very much, Pam, for the heads up on the opening of the co-working space in Alcobaça. And that's run by Nelson. It's happening tomorrow. Oh, we've got a little bit of a video. I might be able to play the video, mightn't I? Sorry, I should have thought of that before now. Oh, it's not showing up on Facebook anyway. Okay, well, Pam, if you are watching and you can give me a link directly to the new co-working space in Alcobaça, that'd be great. And not only in Alcobaça, we've got a co-working space opening in Salida de Porto as well, and I'll give you a few details about that as well. So it may be that the Silver Coast is creating its own digital nomad vibe, and you can go to all these wonderful places. You can be in Salida de Porto, you can be in San Martinho de Porto, you can go to Alcobaça. Already there's a co-working space, of course, in Caldas, isn't there? So it could be quite nice to work your way around the Silver Coast. It's not Lisbon, slightly different vibe to the digital nomad vibe in Lisbon, of course. It's quite intense, I think. If you're a young digital nomad, what fun to be in Lisbon. A slightly different market and niche, I would have thought, for the Silver Coast. So great news there. Co-working spaces, joining the existing space in Caldas de Rainha. I'm sure there are others as well here on the Silver Coast. Salida de Porto and Alcobaça coincidentally opening up on the same weekend, this coming weekend. What are you up to this weekend? Do let us know in the chat, and let's have some Feel Good Friday fun today. Carl, I, for one, will miss your opening 30 minutes of stream of conscious conversation and comment reviews. I know it's not been an easy decision to make, and it is an experiment, so we'll see how that goes. And you know me, I struggle to not honor everybody's contributions. So we will be weaving in the comments that come up and integrating the morning welcome. It's like the morning chorus of the Gumpers, isn't it? You know, it might be that birds sit outside the window and love to hear our messages in the way that we love to hear them singing first thing in the morning. I doubt it, but you never know. You actually never know. So let's see how that goes from Monday. And thank you for sharing that as well, Joao Ernesto. Always, you must always tell me, everybody, give me your feedback, constructive, whether it be positive or negative. As long as it's constructive and helpful, I'm always glad to receive it. So let's see how that goes from next Monday, the 27th. And of course, we can chat and DM over at GMP VIP, of course, as well. Because I shall be getting ready to do the show from 8:30. So we can chat behind the scenes anyway. Bom dia, Gumpers. Como estão todos hoje? Beautiful sunshine here in Hertfordshire today. So off for a good walk before coffee. Hope it's lovely where you are and you can enjoy your day. God squad tip of the day then. Last of the lying down exercises for a while. We've been enjoying these. Lying on your back, get down on the floor, lie on your back, lift one knee up so your thigh is vertical and calf horizontal. Knee vertical and calf horizontal. I'm just thinking how that might work. Okay. I can't visualize that in my mind's eye. But anyway, give it a go. See how you get on. At the same time, with your opposite hand, try to touch your knee. Okay. Repeat on the other side. The exercise should be done slowly with care, particularly when you're starting out. Absolutely. And build up to those 10 repetitions on each side. Great for your core and your glutes. Excellent. Any chance of a video for that one? Anyone else struggling to see that in their mind's eye? It's just the way my mind is wired. I think others may not have the same difficulty with that visualization. And thank you, Coach Turner, for your excellent service as ever this week with the lying down exercises. Much appreciated. Enjoy your coffee and have a great weekend. Bon fin de semana to you. And yes, there is a box of citrus behind me. Which way shall I go? Look, I have written my article. I mentioned it yesterday. Portugal resident today. My A Vida Boa article is in there, and it's one of the ones I'm most pleased with. And this is a really good example of it. Yesterday, a buzz on the buzzer, the front door. My neighbor, I said, you might like these. They are from our home. They live in our street, but they're in the hometown. Obviously, they still have family who from where these citrus fruits came. And as soon as Ivo passed me the box of citrus, a mix of lemons and oranges, as you can see there, and some smaller things like tangerines or similar, I could smell the essential oil, the citrus aroma. It was lovely. They're obviously unwaxed. They are biologica. They are absolutely natural off the tree. They smell divine, and we look forward to enjoying those. And it's the classic Portuguese neighbor turning up with a box of fruit situation, which to me is part of this wonderful A Vida Boa that we enjoy here in Portugal. So thanks, Ivo. Very kind of you to think of us in that way, and we will be enjoying those. And of course, we have at the moment the man from the Algarve and his truck. He parks up by the side of the road near our house, and you can buy a massive bag, like a bag for life size bag of huge, juicy my mouth is watering just at the mere mention of it. You can buy a huge bag of these juicy Algarvian oranges, and here we go. Thank you very much, Mrs. M. Heard me. Size of that. As big as my head, and that takes some doing. Anything to be as big as my head must be pretty massive, let's face it. Thank you, Mrs. M. Ooh. Who doesn't like to get their hands on a couple of big juicy ones first thing in the morning, or have a coffee for that matter? Maybe that's a vida bar moment when Mrs. M comes in with a cup of coffee. Let's see how that works this morning. So yes, Algarve Orange Man is parked up and he's there with his juicy oranges. Absolutely wonderful. That is, my friends, a vida bar. Have you got any more examples of a vida bar? Oh, over on our YouTube channel, I took the excerpt, which is what inspired me to turn it into an article for the Portugal Resident. So there's a little excerpt from the show when I began to speak about the vida bar moment. And Sarah on the YouTube channel, we have a Portuguese home in a small village in the Leiria district in the mountains. We have those moments multiple times every day, those are vida bar moments. Thinking to myself that there are only a handful of people. Let me do this correctly for you, Sarah. Thinking to myself that there are only a handful of people in the world who are fortunate enough to live in our village. And we are two of them. Oh, we wouldn't trade our place for anywhere else that we are aware of on the planet. We are so looking forward to having our children and grandchildren share the vida bar with us in the near future. Thanks for sharing your take on what we are experiencing daily. Isn't that lovely? Well done, Sarah, in the Leiria district of Portugal. James was in at 7:45. Bom dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta a todos, como vão? With a mindful moment there, no problem can withstand the assault of sustained thinking. Wow. I've got a problem with Voltaire there. Aren't most problems caused by sustained thinking? But I guess what it means, to be fair to Voltaire and James here, it always depends on what you mean by that, doesn't it? And perhaps thinking in this situation, in this instance, means mindfulness, actually opening one's mind to the problem and having it there and addressing it, perhaps rather than overthinking it or analyzing it too deeply. I honestly think that most of the problems in the world are the result of sustained thinking and the rational mind. But anyway, I wonder what you think about that. Whoa, you've got a lot of files, StreamYard is telling me. Each brand is limited to 100 images and videos. I do, don't I? So I'm going to have to do something about that. I think I'll do something about that whilst we have a look at a couple of videos from John. Thank you, Joao Ernesto, for your lovely videos. I didn't play the beach scene. As far as I recall, I didn't. So we'll do that this morning, and we'll complete as well the mindful. See, hold on a minute. He was ahead of me here. A mindful dad joke. Hold on, I need to overthink this. Yes, very nicely done there. Yes, so the mindful moment from Voltaire on this matter of sustained thinking. And hold on, I need to overthink this. I think we've got a meme in the making there, James. I might have to knock that up for you. And your visuals this morning, before I forget them, we go to the Star Trek Enterprise. What's it called? The Starship Enterprise. Yeah, the Starship Enterprise. What rock group has 4 members and none of them? I like this. What rock group, emphasis on rock, has 4 members and none of them sing? Well, that would be Mount Rushmore. Okay, he's got to go early. Get your coat. Yep. Sending us memes like that. No wonder you got to go early. Heading into the Villa for a few appointments, including getting my driver license renewed. Wish me great success. Woo! Yes, a lot of both sorts coming your way thereafter on the screen, including Milen, who's here with us again this morning. Good to see you, Milen. Good morning, Gumpers, you say there. Fantastic. 16 degrees this morning in Lisbon. Loving it. You give us a little weather report as well. That's wonderful. And where's James's other meme this morning? I knew joining Ancestry.com would be a bad idea. Look at that. It's a superb picture, that, isn't it? I wonder what the real story is behind that. That's one hell of a mother-in-law right there on the screen. So 16 degrees this morning in Lisbon. Let's roll VT then. I think we've got a couple of VTs. I'm not exactly sure what they are. What's this one here? That's Colin with the Cybertruck. Thank you very much for that. So the Cybertruck was in Lisbon last weekend for the electric vehicle show. What's this one here? And that I confirmed with Mike and Karen, the Bartons, who came over for the Storytellers lunch. That's Philomena. Woo!
Philomena Friday.
Some feel good Friday fun from Philomena there on the zip wire. Okay, so I now know what that is. Let's go for a moment on. I'll finish my tea now as we go and have a little wander on the beach. Stiff breeze there. Sorry if that was confusing at the beginning. That's because it said 16 degrees in Lisbon. That's not Lisbon. That is Praia de Cabedelo, just on the other side of the Lima from Viana. Wonderful place for kite surfing and hydrofoil windsurfing. I counted about 50 surfers out on the waves, did John earlier this week. And there were flags there with North written on them, just so you knew where you were there. Thanks for that, John. And also, not only, but also this from you as well. A lovely little moment. Boy, that's good, isn't it? Very, very good. Thank you very much for that. Rock up at the seaside, and there is a lone piper playing. I don't know, what does that do to you when you hear that? I want to. I'm not a violent person, but I suddenly want to march into battle when I hear that. Chris and I, well, thank you very much, John. Really appreciate those. Chris and I were driven on a gravel sand track in a standard rally version GR Yaris yesterday. Rugby Colin with a bit of good motoring Portugal, or go motoring Portugal action for you. We realized we drive ours like old ladies. A video to come. Believe me, Colin does not drive like an old lady. If I were to have to describe him as driving an old lady, he drives like an old lady who needs to get to the toilet very quickly because she might have a little bit of a weak bladder. So the pedal does get close to the metal with Colin. Goodness only knows what those rally drivers drive like, if you think that, Colin. And see you next week for another road trip. Marvelous. All good fun. What are you up to this weekend? How is your bon fin de semana looking? James is off to sort out the driver license thing today. Deagle is in Belfast, of course. Bon dia, Colin Gumpus from a decent 11-degree Belfast this morning. Mixed bag of weather for the weekend. A few showers, but nothing much. And a lovely picture from Deagle. Thank you for this. A taste of Portugal in Deagle's back garden. 16 4x4. Yes, 16 mini tiles there brought home from Portugal to add a little bit of Portuguese colour to the outdoor dining table by the look of it, the garden in Belfast. So that's beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing that with us this morning, Deagle. All the best to you, my friend. Have a great weekend. And yes, the great greetings coming in. Bon dia, Alegria, Portugal. And a bon dia from from London, not Lisbon, from London. Hi, Steve. Good to see you here. And a reminder to caress the like button. Obrigado a todos. This is James. After all the good luck he's received, people watching in the United States, he's only going to town. Why does he need all this good luck? He's exchanging his driving license. Okay, that's why. How are you doing, Steve? What's new? Got any new listings for us? These are amazing properties that you're renovating in central Portugal. If you've got any details, do send them. Just sent you a morning chorus. Thank you very much. I did see that video and it said, especially for you. So I was thinking, especially for me, does that mean I should see it? Because sometimes people do send me things that only I should see that should not be shared on the screen here. I don't think this is one of them. I mean, it's a massive cock, to be fair. I'll show you that right now. Here we go. A bit of a dawn chorus, I think we're being told.
Bom dia, Portugal!
That's brilliant. We have to play that again. Oh, another talent that Coach Turner can add to his already big bag of talents. That's incredible. He does voiceovers for Hollywood as well. Check this out.
Bom dia, Portugal!
Did you have some fun doing that? Did Leslie burst into the room? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just recording a video for Good Morning Portugal. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. That might be part of our sequence from Monday morning. Yeah, because for the summer hours, I'm going to remix the opening sequence. We've got to have that in there, haven't we? Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. Owen, good morning to you. The last couple of days in the Estrellas, it's been great. You've been doing a lovely job over there. Happy birthday. And is it Buddy's birthday today? Parabéns, Buddy. Happy birthday. And thank you to Buddy. It's been great cooking for you. Gumpers and Gumpers. Gumpers helping Gumpers. That's fantastic. And I hope you like your revamped garden. My goodness, sounds like you've been busy over there, Owen. I think he means opposite legs. Not Owen, and not with the same leg. Okay. We may well get a video. Can we get that big cockerel doing that exercise? That would be a marvelous. AI, if you give AI that prompt, please animate a massive cockerel doing this particular exercise lying on its back. Goodness only knows what's going to come out. Right. Thank you very much. Good morning to you, Owen. Thank you, Joel, for your help on that. Rugby call-out sounds frightening to me. I cannot imagine being a co-driver in a rally car. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos of Colin McRae. Now, where did Colin say this earlier on? I might have missed a little bit of context here from Colin, but yeah, he's been out rally driving with Chris. Thank you very much for that. The Nanu who joined us last night on the Dream Team session. That was great fun last night. Really good session from Andrea Gonçalves. I beg your pardon, Andrea. I've forgotten your second name. But Andrea, colleague of Daniel Reyes of Reyes and Pelicano, really good session last night on configuring your will correctly here in Portugal, and then the Dream Team session thereafter. The Naunu was with us. Bon dia, summers are tough this time in India. Where are you in India? Last week, the maximum temperature was 46 degrees. 115. My goodness, that is hot, isn't it? This week, maximum is 40 degrees. Next summer, I'll be in Porto. Well, that'll be a relief, won't it? Wow, the Naunu. Good to know you. Colleen joining us in about 5 minutes' time with a guide to summer, how to celebrate the summer in Portugal. We have the perfect setting for it, and Colleen is going to be it's going to be some Portugal the place sprinkly glitter for summertime that we'll be adding this morning. How to enjoy summer here in Portugal. Portugal the place style. Loving your backdrop, Colleen. Greetings from the sunny Algarve. 26 degrees today. Faro Airport will be busy today. Yes. Some people are beginning to dread that, aren't they? Flying into Faro at busy times. Best bring your sandwiches and fluids. I'm sure there's a better way of putting it than that. Bring your fluids. Hola, bon fin semana from Aviva. Good morning to you. Thank you for your messages, Aviva. Thanks for reaching out. Always good to connect. Bon dia todos from Antonio F as well this morning. Yesterday, we had a lovely drive north from Viana along the coastline to Spain. The Celtic villages at Aguarda, past Vigo and Pontevedra, on to a visit to the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela. Wow. You are such a good host and guide. You are truly a fabulous ambassador for Portugal generally, but you're part of Portugal as well, especially. Superb. Thanks for the tip there to João Ernesto. Pam's in. Thanks, Pam. I don't know when you joined us, but hopefully we'll have Antonio joining us, Nelson's friend from the new co-working space in Alcobaça. I imagine Colleen will know about that as well. Can't stay for long, says Pam. Off to the track. Off to the track. Are you going training and running as well this morning, like the coach? Bon fin semana Torres and Guarda must be beautiful. Yeah, a place we don't hear a lot about. But yeah, that part of Portugal, worthy of inspection and enjoyment. I've done some sliding zip line like that in the past. The Spain-Portugal zip line is still on my bucket list. Where is that? Where do you go across the border exactly? Is that at Tavira? Is it down that way? I'll have to depart early today. We're off to spend the day in Porto. My brother and Cunhada leave tomorrow for Dublin and part 2 of their month-long holidays. Lovely to meet them. I wish them a boa viagem from me, if you will, please, John. And bagpipes sound just as bad in Portuguese as in Scottish. Somebody had to say it. I suppose I like it myself personally. I love the sound of pipes and I love the sound of a brass band. I don't think Colleen does. So I won't play it again. I was going to play it again just so that we could verify, but no, we'll do that when Colleen's left us at 9:30. Safe. We'll have a bagpipe zone from 9:30. Not a fan, it would appear. Northern Portugal and Galicia, Spain, have distinct connections to Celtic traditions in Ireland, Wales, and Scotland, such as bagpipes and dance. Maybe drinking as well. Bon dia from Joan. Hi, Joan. Good to see you this morning. Off to Caldas Terrena this weekend on a bit of a scout. Oh, how lovely. Lucky you. I'm sure you'll have a fine time in Caldas. Ooh, that was brilliant. Who was that then? Oh, that's perhaps the Good Morning Portugal cockerel, who's now our mascot. Parabéns to Buddy. Birthday greetings then from Antonio F. And not exchanging the driving license. Renewing, validating my Portugal driving license. Thank God. The exchange was an 18-month pain in the name your favorite body part for such a complaint there. Oh, okay. Of course it was. Yeah, because we went through that with you. We've been through that with a few people, haven't we? So good luck with your renewal. How often do you have to do that then? I better check mine because mine's quite old now. How often do you have to... I should know this. How often do you have to renew your Portuguese driving license? Ciao, ciao for now. TTFN from João Ernesto. And hopefully this will be at least slightly easier. I think it will be. I do think it will be. Just read that the IMT online is having technical issues, says Antonio F., our man who connects us with the Portuguese culture so ably. And so we're so grateful to you with everything that you do for us, Antonio F. So IMT online not working properly. Hope you have no issues renewing your driving license from Antonio to you, James. And I love the sound of bagpipes as well. It's the Marmite musical instrument then, isn't it? It seems to be dividing people this morning. I tried online last night with the IMT, says James, and it wouldn't let me. Not sure if it's because it's my first renewal or a function of the site not working. That came up last night. The IMT online site is not working at all very well at the moment. So renewal times vary, says James, vary depending on your age. So by the time you get to 90, you have to go in every 6 weeks or something like that to make sure you're still okay on the roads. I wonder. Okay, Antonio F., I'm sure we'll be able to answer that. Colleen is waiting for us. Let's give her a nice big round of applause and find out how to celebrate summer here in Portugal. Hola, bon dia.
Bon dia. How are you, Carl?
Oh, very good. Just having fun, hanging out this morning, listening to the sound of bagpipes, which it sounds like you're not a massive fan.
I just got back from a week in Scotland, so maybe I had bagpipe overload. So
well, yes. No tourist experience in Scotland is complete without a bit of pipery, I suspect.
Well, I had a lot of pipery because I actually stumbled upon the Duke of Edinburgh arriving in Edinburgh when we were there. So bagpipes were going crazy, and we ended up right in the front line while he was arriving at one of the major buildings on the Royal Mile. And so the bagpipes were just like everywhere. So it was a lot.
I was saying I'm a peaceful person, but when I hear the pipes, I want to march into battle. It's a rousing sound, isn't it?
But hey, I am so silly because I'm one of those people that feel bad if someone, even if a royal person doesn't seem like they're having a good day, I kind of like, I don't know, I have this weird compulsion to make them feel better. So this poor guy, Edward, he's the quiet one, Duke of Edinburgh.
Thank you for I always think, as you were saying Duke of Edinburgh, I was thinking, Who is that? I don't even know who that is these days. So it's
The
Edward.
youngest, yes, the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth. So he's coming in his car, and all these people are lined up, but I don't think anyone knew who was coming. And so no one's waving, no one's doing anything. And I'm right there in the front line, and I'm just feeling bad because I'm like, this poor guy's in the car driving. So I'm like this.
Oh, bless you.
And he looks right at me and he waves back. So
Oh, what a moment.
it was so funny though, because I felt so bad because everyone was just standing there staring at him, and I'm like, well, we should wave or something. So, and then the bagpipes started to play, so then I felt like I was punished for it.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished, does it?
But it did make you feel like you were on the Royal Mile, and we saw royalty. So there you go.
Very good, very good. I think this sort of magic happens for you, doesn't it, as you make your way around the world? How lovely. So what were your impressions of Scotland? Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. I have a compulsion to find Highland cows. So I spent a lot of time out in the Highlands, communing with the cows, scratching their heads, feeding them. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a thing. I think Highland cows are the gentlest and most beautiful creatures. So my husband Clyde got dragged along to fields of green as I went up to the fences and fed cows.
Wow. That's something I didn't expect to find out about you today. We do see them in Portugal, don't we? There are a few Highland cows dotted around Portugal, I've noticed.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot, but it was a great week. We took a break, went off and explored, didn't see Nessie. We went to Loch Ness, no Nessie. She didn't show. So, but I got the Duke of Edinburgh, so I guess it's even. So
Yes, I've never heard the Duke of Edinburgh described as the Loch Ness monster. Actually, I have heard. There are certain parts of the internet where that connection is made, I think. So, wow, fantastic. A lovely time in Scotland. How was the food up there?
Well, I think it's really, really good. I love haggis, for example. I know people go, ooh, haggis, but I think it's delicious. And the food was really, of course, it's hearty. After being in Portugal, where our meals kind of breakfast consist of a coffee and maybe a quick pastry or something, and then you're sitting in front of the Scottish breakfast with everything on the plate. It's quite an adjustment. After a couple of days, I was like, could I just have fruit? It's a lot.
Yes, absolutely. That reminds me. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the full Scottish rather than the full English, but it's that kind of vibe, isn't it? Egg, bacon, beans, probably various kinds of sausage up there.
Blood sauce, or they do like the black pudding and the like little potato scones and the beans and like all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot of food in the morning, and it was quite a lot compared to what I've adjusted to in Portugal, which is a quick
I can see that.
day, but it was great, and we didn't have a drop of rain. The weather was sunny. It was amazing. I know
you are able to work miracles when you're on tour. Clearly,
I can't even. I feel like my pictures are false because they're so sunny.
sunny and warm in Scotland. Yeah, that's AI. That's not a real trip.
Exactly. But it was weird because everyone said it was raining back in Portugal while we were gone. And then here we're out there in like short sleeves in the sunshine. It's like, just this beautiful day in Scotland. And it just felt weird that Portugal was getting rain and we were there on a warm, dry day in Scotland for a week.
Well, good for you and Clyde. You are, of course, the creators of Portugal, the place, operating in Alcobaça. We might have a call from Antonio. I mean, it's lovely in Portugal. You tend to get to know everybody. Do you know Nelson and Antonio, who are involved in this co-working space that's opening this weekend over there?
Well, if it's Antonio, I think it is. Yes, we do. Antonio has Go West Tours, and he
that's the man.
And he works with us. He is our driver for all of our transfers for the clients that are coming in, and he is and he is also a tour. He does scouting for us, looking for real estate rentals, and does location scouting. And we know all about the co-working space. It's an awesome addition to Alcobaça.
Yeah. Have you had a preview?
Well, I know the building. I haven't been in the most recent version of it, but it's a great building and a great space. So I haven't seen it since it's been completely finished, but I saw the progress, and it's an awesome space. So it's going to be a really important option for folks, especially the more of the people that are relocating around here, to give them options to not have to buy or find a place with a bigger, like an extra bedroom or things like that.
Quite, and you get to meet people, don't you? I mean, if you're working in your own back bedroom, it's not great for networking, is it?
Well,
See yourself in the mirror as you walk down the hallway.
There are pros and cons for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you want to get your head down and get some work done, it's ideal. But when you're new to a country, what better way of meeting people than in a co-working space? And we've got one opening up in Salir de Porto. So maybe there's something happening in terms of a co-working experience here on the Silver Coast, because they're already established in Caldas, of course, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot more people relocating that are working. The remote option is giving people, different considerations. We have a younger demographic that seems to be able to find their way and relocating. So I think that it's just natural that people are reaching up and creating opportunities, for folks that are looking for working space. Because it does, if you have kids at home, as you know, or if you've got a smaller space, just to have the focus can be difficult if you don't have the right setup at home. So I think co-working is a great solution.
Yeah. I think something might happen here. There might be a general an awareness of the co-working opportunities here. Claire, who's opening the space up in Salir de Porto, was talking about some sort of season ticket or a way of having a pass for all the co-working spaces, which would be a great idea. Antonio's going to be busy transferring these folks around.
Yes.
I mean, you're in Alcobaça 1 minute and you ask for a lift to Salir de Porto or Caldas de Rainha. That's a great way, isn't it, to work and explore. Explore Portugal whilst continuing to work. Fantastic. Okay, well, good luck to all those, the creators of these co-working spaces. More details to come. Antonio might call in, and I've got some details from Claire as well, which I'll share later. But for now, here in the party capital of the world, which I think it is, not much is made of that. You hear about the great partying in Brazil, of course, and Carnival and Ibiza and Goa. For clubbers, but here in Portugal, we're partying from around this time of the year through to Christmas, and I've never seen that in a tourism program, magazine, or brochure. It could be something, couldn't it?
It could be, and it's interesting because the way that Portugal approaches the partying, the festivals, the idea of just having a great time, I think is so wholesome. And I know that's like Ibiza, has a certain age demographic and a certain crowd. You've got Brazil, which is, of course, another kind of different vibe. But here in Portugal, when you go out to all of these things happening from now until Christmas, it's everybody. I mean, the elderly grandparents to the little kids and everyone in between, they're out there partying. It's in the middle of the night and they're still out there having a good time and hanging with their family. And it's a wholesome festival and very season. And I also have to say that there's a safety element, I believe. So so it's definitely a different vibe. So coming here, I feel like they're missing a mark of not explaining, like, if you want to have that feeling and party and get involved with the community, you could do it really safely with all ages here in Portugal.
3-generation partying, sometimes 4. And it's the partying you might remember as a kid. I think, where the whole family is there, the 21st birthday, the 18th birthday, or the wedding reception. It's that kind of atmosphere, isn't it? Whole family partying, which is what happens very naturally here in Portugal. And we're going into the summer season. That's something you wanted to talk about this morning. Yeah. Preparing for summer in Portugal.
Yeah, totally. Summer is upon us, really, because you're starting to feel the ramp up of everybody arriving and the tourists, the buses are picking up. I mean, I'm sure you in San Martino are also feeling the kind of impact. But when people are planning to come to Portugal, or even if you're already here but you haven't gone through a season yet, I think there's a couple of pieces that can trip you up if you're not prepared. One of the things that I like to make sure everyone is ready for is the varying hours of operation. There seems to be a holiday, like Monday was Leria Day in Leria.
That's right, which is part of Leria month.
Right, which is part of all the festivals. But Leria was all the businesses were closed on Monday, like the hospital, the clinics, the different professionals. So if you don't keep close tabs on all the different holidays, check calendars, check websites, it can trip you up. If you think you're going to just pop in and get some business done at a government office, or if you think you're going to do something from now through, like you said, till the holidays, there's national holidays, regional holidays, local holidays, and it can be a little tricky if you're trying to navigate that for some business purposes. So Yeah, Monday was Luria Day. Alcobaça has a day. Caldas has a day, and these are not on the national calendars. And these are days where you'll just go and there's a sign in the window saying, "We're closed. It's a holiday."
Yes.
So that I think is for me for the summer. If you live here and you're not quite in the cadence of this, you want to get used to checking websites before you just assume you can go to that spot. So I love this. Someone's kettle is bubbling and getting ready for them to attack it. I love this phrase.
It's not a metaphor. It is actually what is going on a boat in the United Kingdom at the moment.
Oh, okay. I was like, is there something to this sentence that I'm supposed to know?
No, Jackie likes to start the day with a cup of tea, a British cuppa, and a cigarette and some chocolate, I think, which does sound rather nice on the canals of England. Nothing to worry about. We don't need to call the emergency services or have a security alert. It's just her morning ritual. In fact,
I love it. Well, it's the tea. That's what I switched to when we were in Scotland for the week. Is I switched to the tea because I love the way the tea is prepared and brought to you everywhere. So that was definitely a highlight.
We had a conversation about this yesterday with Heather about tea and the various ways of drinking tea. Was it made in a pot and properly served?
Yes.
Oh, how
yes.
lovely.
And most of the restaurants we went to that were really lovely would bring it in a beautiful pot. And then, of course, it's the strainer with the loose tea that you pour through. So
marvelous. Excellent. Yes, the Duke of Edinburgh would be even more proud of you than he is already.
Do you see? I set up a little,
yes.
Like, yes. Yes, very much.
And you're in a posh place when you get a pot of hot water as well. So was there a pot of hot water to top up your tea leaves as well?
There was.
Wow. Well, I forgot about that yesterday. Wow.
Yes, it was fantastic. So well done, Jackie, enjoying that beautiful tea there. That's lovely. Sounds wonderful.
An idyllic scene. Okay, so the holidays. The holidays within the holidays is what you're talking about. Do you have a preferred source? I'm trying to do this over at the Portugal Club. We've got a calendar on there as well. So I try and alert people to when the holidays come up so they don't go and try and do some official business. What's your favorite source of finding out when all the various Portuguese public holidays are?
My fantastic Portuguese team that
yes, of course, because there's nowhere online, is there? Because you won't find anywhere that's got the national and the local mixed together, will you?
That's why I suggest you go to the website before you want to do something. So if you're planning something like next week and you need to go in and make some business runs, check their websites, because more often than not, they will put a banner or an announcement if it's a major space. But checking with the locals, saying, hey, when is our holiday in this town that I live in, asking, hey, when do we have a holiday? Do we close anytime? No matter how big or small your town is, there's bound to be some extra layer beyond the national holidays. And then the festivals that come in, every town, starting, as you were saying now, starts to have Saints Days and different parades and different festivals. And those will be on the local city website. Most of them have an events calendar, and that's a major holiday event. So they'll put that on there. So it doesn't just create closures for businesses. Sometimes the businesses stay open, but the roads are closed. You can't get into the center, or they've got parade routes and things like that. So as you're planning your summer travel, it's really important to just take an extra moment and go in and look at the cities. We went to Paseo de Regua. We were up in the Douro. And we stumbled in. We were there in the end of July, 1st of August, and we stumbled in and we couldn't drive anywhere. We couldn't do anything. And it was their big Saints Day parade. Everything was closed. Everybody had come out and, just blocked everything. And so we just kind of joined in, and we sat in a cafe and watched everybody coming and going and saw the parade. But if we would have wanted, you have to just kind of adjust. But we hadn't checked before we came in. So we were caught really by surprise. We didn't have parking. We were way away. We didn't know the timing. So if you're planning your travels for the summer across Portugal, checking the locations for local festivals is really, really important.
That's really helpful. Thank you very much. Next one coming up is the Corpus Christi next Thursday. That's a public holiday here in Portugal. So beware of that as well. Antonio is with us. I'll bring him onto the screen to join us, Colleen. I think it's a little bit of a surprise for him. He turns up to tell us about the co-worker. I know that woman. Colleen is here. Antonio is here. Now let's give him a nice big round of applause. Hola, buen dia, Antonio.
Hey,
Bon dia. How are you, Carl? Hey, Colleen.
hey, Antonio.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I
Now,
thought
I
I
don't-
was mistaken. I started hearing your voice, and am I really on the right place? Yes, I am.
Well,
I'm everywhere, Antonio.
yes, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I
1 minute
can see
Edinburgh,
that.
next minute Alcobaça. So great to meet you. You two obviously know each other. I've not had the pleasure of meeting you before, Antonio. I'd love to know more
Yeah.
about your Go West tours, but before you tell us about what you do as a tour guide, we've got a new co-working space happening in Alcobaça, and you're telling us about that on behalf of your
Yes.
friend Nelson, I believe.
Yes, exactly. And he has me support to help him advertising. It was something that I told him he could do with the space there
Yeah,
because it was the former San Francisco area. It has a lot of places that he could work to create something that people could work together, and
yeah,
started working with Portugal, the place, by the way, with Colin. And it was something that people asked me because they are moving to Portugal and they will still work with the United States in this case, and they will be working from home. And
yeah,
they, a few months, told me that they would like to have a place where they could work without being at home, feeling,
yeah,
having a feeling of being working without being at home. And I told Nelson that it was something he could do with the place, a co-work place. And he also has offices on the place that people can work in private or in a common area as well. They have all conditions there to work, and I supported him with this idea. But he told me, I don't speak English. It must be you helping me and supporting me uh, to to tell other people or other communities that the place exists and they can come and they are free to come. And you will have tomorrow in the afternoon, 25th May, open so people can go there and see the place. It's now prepared and ready to start with internet. It has a kind of a cafe. People can take their own food. They have microwave, they have fridge, they have table, so they can eat there. It's well located. They have, I don't know if I can say what exists in the area, but it has a cafe, the hospital in front. Not that they need the hospital, but it's a good
that's
reference
handy.
point. Let's hope. They have the roasted chicken on the side, so if they would take
The best
away.
chicken
So I
places,
think
yes.
yes.
Can I just
And
can I just stop you there? Which is the best chicken place in Alcobaça?
I don't know. Let's hope people don't hear me
I know that's
because I don't want to.
Okay,
But I
whisper
like
it.
Rei dos Frangos
Oh,
roasted
okay, I know what you mean.
chicken.
On the
Yes,
roundabout.
yes,
It's by the roundabout
yes,
before you get to Aquilogia.
yes,
Okay. All right, all right. So that's the
yes,
location of the
yes.
co-working
It's on
spot.
the downside. Yes, you had San Francisco on the first floor and the bottom floor. He
Yeah,
has the bottom floor, one area there. That
that's wonderful.
in the first time we advertised in Portugal, International Alcobaça International, was in February. But he has been preparing the place well with internet, with the secretary, chairs, everything. And so now it's a nice place. I would like to tell people that are interested or curious, people that can go there and just see the place and ask questions. I won't be able to be there, but he has someone that will speak English and support him, and you will have brochures with information, with prices. Everything is there, and
That's
probably
wonderful.
some water, some snacks, and something
Great.
to
Well,
have.
please send him our best wishes. Our parabéns. Congratulations on opening such a
Okay,
venture.
obrigado,
Yeah,
obrigado. Thank
and
you,
thank you, Antonio. Before you go, though,
thank you.
we did
Yeah,
get a bit of an introduction to you from Colleen earlier on. But what is
yeah.
Go West Tours? What do you do? How do you help people in this country?
Well, I'm a travel agent, but I don't work with flights. It's only inland with transportation. So
Okay,
what I do mostly it's transfers from the hotels from city to city, airports, Lisbon, Porto, the Algarve. That's what I do. And with Portugal, the place, I did and I do some scouting with people that come to show the area. I'm also a tour guide, and
Fantastic.
I know well the area and the country, and I show them in tourism or how to live, how things work in Portugal to live. I do regular transfers with expats mm, 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 that live already in the area. Can you hear me? It's something
I
appeared
can.
here.
I imagine you're
Okay,
having calls.
sorry.
You've got clients coming through, trying to get a lift to somewhere. I suspect.
But
Yeah.
Antonio is a
And-
treasure. He does amazing tours, wine tours, cheese tours, history tours. A lot of our local people that have relocated to the Silver Coast hire him to go out and do all these local, really deep dives into local areas. So he's a treasure. Absolutely someone people should know.
That's wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
if we search for Go West Tours, we'll find you, will we, Antonio?
Yes, not that on the social media. I don't work that much on social media. I know I should. It's shame on me,
No,
but I
you're
don't have
busy doing more
too much
important
time to
things.
do it.
Yeah, right. I
But
get it.
yes, also I've been supporting also Portugal, the place when people are moving, waiting them at the airport with the van. Sometimes I need to take all seats out to put all luggage people bring.
Yes.
It's also something that that is necessary. Trying to support people to be welcome when they arrive to Portugal. I think it's
Oh,
something
lovely.
that we have and that people like when they are here. It's
Yeah.
one of the questions people do. How do you feel with all this amount of people coming to Portugal
Yeah, good
to
question.
live? How do people feel about it? I think everybody's happy. As
Mhm.
long as people come with good intentions, they are always welcome. And you can see that business grow in several areas. People that had plumbing or electrician business or some handiwork, they grown their work, gardening. You can see the car sales, everything, restaurants that usually they closed on winter or they closed at night, they are open now. So a lot of business came in. So I think it was good to all. You can feel well received and join the community. The festivals that are more and more that you have, as Colin was saying, you need to
Yes.
be aware what's happening around because you can be stuck in traffic or with all things that are happening here and there. Every place has. If you go now to Leiria, they have the May fair, and it's crazy sometimes. And you have the concerts at night, you can get stuck.
Yeah.
And you need to be aware with a few situations, but generally I think you feel well, tourists feel well. I work with both markets, the ones that come to visit and go away and the others that come to stay, and I believe generally all are happy with Portugal,
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right. How lovely
and
to
I'm
talk
here
to you this
to
morning.
help them.
Yeah, well, for
Yes,
sure.
and
You know, if ever you're touring around Portugal and you have a moment, you know, if you're waiting for people at the airport, give us a call.
uh-huh.
Let us know, you know, about different parts of Portugal. It'd be lovely to have you as our correspondent, you know, in different
Okay,
parts of the country,
okay,
tuning in and
okay,
checking in with us. It'd be lovely to hear from you.
And if you, Carl,
okay. I
if
will.
get the information,
Yeah.
we can always connect people to Antonio too. So just reaching
That's
out here,
wonderful.
we have all his information, and because we know he doesn't do social media, but we do. So
You
someone
do, you do. That's right. So, how about that, Antonio? You've got Colleen working for you now. That's fantastic. So
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
struggling to find Antonio, you can find him
And
through
it has been lovely and with a lot of work with Portugal, the place, and it has been a great family there also.
Oh, it's
So
lovely
I
to hear
think
that. This is what we hear. This is
everyone
everything.
is happy with each other. So
Wonderful, wonderful
it's
news.
working.
Okay.
It's working to all.
Oh, well, thank you, Antonio. Muito prazer and congratulations to
Obrigado
Nelson.
também.
Yeah, and boa fim
I'll
de
call
semana.
you
Até a próxima.
Beijinho,
igualmente.
tchau.
Até à próxima. Beijinhos a todos. Tchau.
Okay.
Beijinhos.
All
Bye.
right, ciao, ciao. Bye for now. Bye for now. Wonderful. There he goes, Antonio. What a lovely surprise this morning, because that only happened for me quite late yesterday. But I'm so glad Antonio was able to join us. And thank you for fielding his inquiries. as well, Colleen. Can you? Sorry, can you? I'm delaying you. Can you stay a
It's
little
okay.
bit longer to talk
Yeah,
us a
I'm
little bit
okay.
more about? Oh,
Absolutely.
fantastic. Okay. So summer, a really good first point there. Be aware of the local holidays because it's not easy to find out about them. You've got to do multiple sort of streams of inquiry finding out about that. But your best stream is to talk to people like Antonio or indeed Colleen here. If you're visiting Alcobaça, Colleen and the team will be all over that, knowing what's open and when. What else have you got for us when it comes to preparing for summer?
Well, I think one of the things you also need to prepare for is when you get to the destination, especially the beach destinations. It seems like something that would come logically, but for a lot of folks, they never lived in a tourist area before. And so maybe we'll get caught a little flat-footed. I grew up in Oregon, on the coast in Oregon. And so it's a very similar experience to Portugal, where it's kind of quiet and pretty dead in the winter. And then in the summer, the populations would double or triple, and you know, beaches are full and everything. And that's something you have to prepare for here in Portugal. If you are used to going to your favorite cafe, or you think that you're going to just take a stroll on the praia or do something that you've been doing in the winter, it's going to be different. So you need to take a deep breath, maybe find some areas that appeal to you that are out of the center or the core, so that during the summer you can pace yourself and not get frustrated. Nazaré is a key point. Nazaré is so easy to get into in the winter. You slide into a parking space, you take a nice stroll on the praia, you go to whatever restaurant you feel like. Everything is great. Right now and until October-ish, depending on how the weather goes, you need to plan extra half an hour at least for parking. You're going to fight to get into restaurants. People are walking on both sides of the street, just like not paying attention. You kind of can get like walking run over if you aren't careful. And it can make you feel like it takes some of the fun out of living or visiting those areas. So the biggest thing is, if you've got guests coming in the summer and you think you want to show them all these great places, you need to plan and allow for that time. And then now start searching out areas that are outside of the center. Case in point, Nazaré is very, very busy, but if you go up to Salgado Beach, and you go up on the ridgeline and you go just south of Nazaré, there's a beautiful beach that has a little cafe. It has bathrooms and all the things you need. And you can go there and set up and spend time on the beach and be away from the core crowds and have a lovely day without feeling like you're being run over. But if you don't find those places now, you're going to get caught a little, you know, it's going to feel overwhelming. And I think a lot of folks don't realize the impact. And it's not Americans. It's not, you know, it's not Americans doing this. We hear a lot of like, oh, it's the Americans. It's the Europeans. Man, they come from the country, and it's the French, it's the Belgians, it's the
Spanish.
Spanish. I mean, they come to Portugal for the inexpensive meals, for the beach long beaches that are available. So it's not going to be just, you can't think, oh, Americans just come. It's not us. It's the Europeans taking their month-long holiday, and they come to Portugal to get away from their home areas for a while.
Well said. Well said. Or you could book Antonio and he could drive you there, right? That's another way of taking the strain out of it.
Or take public transportation, but be aware that they are packed. If you're going to bring beach stuff and everything with you, you can take the bus, but they're going to be full. You're going to be kind of, jostling for space. So just keeping that in mind. The other thing is the inland cities don't have the same impact that the beaches do. So if you're looking for a restaurant and you've got your friends in town and you want to see Nazaré, do Nazaré early in the morning, for example. Go out before, because most of the tourists and the Portuguese don't really start hitting the beaches till around 11. So you can catch the beach in the morning, but then maybe you want a nice meal, come inland to one of the cities like Caldas da Rainha or Alcobaça, explore the monasteries. You can do that without the same impact. And if you want beach, kind of like water activities, there's river beaches. You can go farther into the mountains. It gets a lot quieter. You can go and find areas that'll give you a different experience. But if you want beach life, you need to be prepared for the crowds in the summertime.
Well said. Well said. Or go late as well. That's the other thing, isn't it? If you go late to the beach, sometimes the Europeans have gone home because it's too cold for them. If you're from a colder place, you've got an extra hour, haven't you, on the beach? compared to local people. And so when I go with my daughter to swim, we know how to gauge this now, because it shifts, of course, as the days get longer. People are staying at the beach longer, but still there comes a point, and the temperature difference is very different for the Portuguese than it is for us Northern Europeans. So we'll go for a swim after they've all gone home. It's like, oh, it's too cold now. They're putting on their coats in 25 degrees and going home for dinner. And we're coming down, the cars are leaving, we're driving down, we get a parking space and we go for a swim in the sea and have it to ourselves. So I like it, what you're suggesting here, to pace it or adjust it or nuance the visits in a way that avoids the crowds. The other thing on a bigger basis here, and an interesting thing that's happening, I think, in Portugal, connected to what you're saying, Colleen, is not the annual season, but how things will change over time. And I think we should enjoy these days in Portugal, because as I drive through San Martino now, I think to myself, this will be a golden time that I remember here, because it's going to get busier and busier, isn't it? Just generally, it's going to get busier. The season's going to be longer. There are going to be more people moving to the area. There's no question about that. And these are the golden times that we should enjoy, when we could park on the quay.
Yeah, absolutely. And September is local summer. A lot of the locals and a lot of us, we all know that after the second week of September, things calm down dramatically, but the weather is still fantastic.
Yes.
So just, plan accordingly. And if you're going out of your home area to another beach area and you're not as familiar with what's going on and maybe the hidden away places, it's great to ask if your Airbnb host, your hotel front desk, ask a local in a cafe, hey, we're not really as crowd focused. We don't want to be, maybe we want a little quieter experience. Where would you go? And the Algarve even has quiet little coves and places you can go. Up north, there's all kinds of different beaches. So it doesn't hurt to just say, we'd love to get away and just spend a day reading on the beach and swimming, but we're not really enjoying the crowds. And more often than not, they're going to say, yes, if you drive up this road, take this dirt road and turn left and go down here, here's an area that doesn't really get busy. Portugal has such a long coastline. There are so many beaches.
Yeah,
possible to spread out. You don't have to stay right in the center. Cascais, for example, if you go to Cascais this summer, you will be fighting for a little towel space on their beach in the center of town. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're not going to get on the beach. So you have to plan and think, where could I go if I'm staying in Cascais, where I don't feel like I'm fighting just to be able to walk onto the beach?
And you don't, like you say, you don't have to go that far to find a bit of peace, because all of Portugal is coastline pretty much, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then in the summer, when you're planning your trips, don't forget to go inland. This is a great time for exploring. There is so much to do in Portugal. Temperatures do get higher, so it'll be hotter. If you're going inland, you have to be aware of that. The Alentejo in the summer can be broiling. So if that is hard for you, you might not want to do that, but you can go up in the mountains. Guarda is amazing. You can go up into the national parks. You can get yourself into places where you have these beautiful wide river beaches where you can spend the day enjoying the water and then exploring. So the summertime is a great time to get into the mountains, into the nature, move yourself inland a bit, and you're going to find it's still going to be busy, but not at the scale of the beaches.
Yeah, well said. Thank you for your guide to summer. Anything else for us?
Well, I think the other thing is just patience. Remember those people that you love and care for that are working in those restaurants and that are doing all of that. They are swamped, and these people are coming in and pushing them hard for everything. And they need to make their income during the summer. So giving a smile and a wave, being patient, allowing for some space with the folks you support all year round is going to go a long, long way, because it hits them really hard and they have long days working through this time period. So recognizing that and being a part of their support team and just giving them a smile and realizing you might not get your favorite table, and they can't do much about that during the summer, will go and help them a lot, because it's intense. Everyone lands in.
Yeah, well said. It is amazing the hours people work. Our friend Nelson at the Palmeira Cafe here, he does a 6-day week, and he'll be there. He's probably there at 8 in the morning and easily till 8 at night. And then this is on the go pretty much all the day, serving people. There are busier times than others, but I mean, it's an incredibly arduous lifestyle. So as Colleen says there, be helpful and kind and patient, especially in the busiest times of the year. That's brilliant. That's your guide to spending summer in Portugal. What's going on at Portugal, the place, before you go? Is your women's Christmas visit fully booked yet?
Not fully booked. There's still some spaces. We're doing a webinar tonight, actually, at 6 o'clock our time. So if this is a different webinar, whether you're interested in the tour or not, we have a collection of women that have lived in Portugal for quite a while that we're going to talk about the ups and downs and navigating life here in Portugal. So would love to, if you're interested, it's all over our social media. You can find it. Just go on to any one of our sites and it's there. And we do have some space. So we're still offering that and making that available. And then we are right now in the middle of everyone looking for, if you're planning to move, if you would like to physically live in Portugal in January, February of 2025, crazy. This is the time to start booking and looking at your plans and getting prepared and having that 6-month ramp, that runway to get here and get started. So if you're thinking 2025, is that still a long way away? It's not. it's
I
almost
like it. You're right. I mean, that's going to fly by, isn't it? You know, that's how we are as human beings, isn't it? Is, the cold winter, and it's all relative, of course. I don't think people like hearing me moaning about winter in Portugal, and understandably so. But from my point of view, it's like, come on, spring, come on, summer, and before we know it, we'll be going into the holidays, won't we? And it will be 2025. That's how it works. And so, if you're thinking of moving to Portugal in that year of 2025, now's the time to get yourself in motion. Is it, Colleen?
Yes, you really should have at least 6 months so you can go through the process methodically and intentionally and not feel like you're panicking through everything that you need to do in the lift. It can be done, but giving yourself 6 months is a really nice, solid timeline to accomplish everything before you move. And you can give us a call and we can help you.
Superb. That was the website there. I'll put the link to the Portugal, the place website on the screen in just a moment. We're saying good morning to Alan Martins from Maynard, Massachusetts this morning. You're up late. Alan, good to see you here. Thank you for being here. Anything else to share with us before you go and enjoy your bon fin semana, Colleen?
No, I am great. Thank you so much, Carl, for the time. It was awesome to see Antonio here. He is truly a massively important resource on the Silver Coast. He can take you to some of the best experiences. He has a great van. He can take like 6 people out. Cool. If you're thinking about wine tasting, great to have a driver. He's the guy.
Well said. Yes. And he knows people, doesn't he? He'll give you a tour that you really won't be able to. I only just met the guy this morning, but if he's anything like Philomena or other Portuguese people who I know who love their country and want to share their country with you, they will know people you'll never get to know just by looking on websites or rocking up at places. It'll be, I think it's called a cook's tour, isn't it? Where you get taken behind the scenes and have unique experiences. Colleen, sorry, carry on.
No, I was just saying he does those. He was instrumental in helping us get our business up and running. He's one of the first people we met here in Portugal. So we're very, very lucky to have him as part of our lives. So thank you.
Clearly a lovely bloke, and what a lovely lineup this morning then to have him on the screen as well, and all the best at the co-working space. Love to the team, all the best, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye for now. See you. Have a great weekend. Bon fin semana. There goes Colleen. Fabulous. Alan, love it when you guys mention cold. I know. As soon as I start moaning about the cold, somebody turns up who knows what cold really is. So forgive me, Alan, with me and my my 5-degree bitter coldness here in Portugal. You're watching Carl Munson on the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream, the podcast, of course. And we go, just another reminder that we go to our summer hours from Monday the 27th, where we'll be starting at 9 and finishing at 10. And of course, nothing is changed in the guest lineup. Okay, the guests you're used to seeing at 9 to 9:30, for example, for 9:30 to 10, they will stay exactly as they are. We had the matter of driving license renewals. Portugal driving license at 60, 65, and 70, and then that's when you renew at 60, 65, and 70, and then every 2 years. Before you're 60, There are some variations depending on the date you got your first driving license. Don't know how it applies to foreigners. Okay, so I think I'm okay for a little while yet. Thank you very much for that, Antonio F, and everything you do for us. Bon dia, Antonio, from Alan as well, who's tuned in. I'm going to have a look at Portugal Decoded, because I love the news coverage. We'll have a little bit of a look at the news and some of the lighter-hearted news, of course, including the upcoming Euros. Portugal, of course, playing in the Euros. That's going to be great. Portugal's first match, I think, is the 18th of June. We'll have a little look at that. Let's have a little bit of a video interlude before then, though. And something I didn't get around to playing before from Veronica down there in the south. This looks like a nice experience, if this is the right video that I'm thinking of.
Hello friends, and welcome to our little corner of Portugal, where we had an absolute blast at the Expat Mixer event. Different nationalities were represented, of course Portugal as well, and we got to know each other better in this fun setting at the Vanilla Bar. We have the distiller from Black Pig explaining the two that he brought today.
We have two types of gins, okay? We have two ecosystems right here. We have the Costa Linchana, which is all the coast that we have here. So it's a fresh gin, a citric and floral. A cereal-based alcohol with rosemary, lemon, and orange. Okay, and we have the interior part of a Alentejo, the drier part, basically. We have a dry wooden flavor gin, which is made with alcohol, with carrot and acorn.
I'll eat them all. How great is this? It's a beautiful day in paradise. We're having our Black Pig mixer. What do you think of your drink? Fabulous. And that, see? Ivan, like Ivan, but Ivan.
Yes, I'm the distiller.
You're the distiller?
Yes, I am.
Welcome.
Everybody needs a souvenir.
You bought the whole thing, or you bought? But you will drink the whole thing. We sipped, we chatted, we laughed, and celebrated the rich diversity that makes our little corner so vibrant and welcoming. It was a fun afternoon to remember, filled with good drinks, great company, and a whole lot of fun.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Another one in just a moment from Veronica, chronicling her adventures down there. And my goodness, she does have a lot of adventures, that lady. Driving license then. Bob's in. Good morning to you, Bob. I need to renew due to birthday. With any luck, I'll get them to reinstate my motorcycle license and maybe light truck. A semi first thing in the morning. Or a semi. They took away at the exchange. That's interesting. So you might be able to get it reconfigured so you can drive other vehicles too. Agreed with Mr. S, agreeing with Alan. I'm from Natick, Massachusetts too, but houses here can be ill-equipped to withstand the cold. You see? A mitigating circumstance for my whinging there. It rains a lot and walls absorb water and mold is common within your house. Alan responding, as usual, time to go back to bed. Cheers. Thank you for joining us. Golf tea time in a couple of hours. Until next time, stay safe, Portugal. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers, Alan. Bon fin semana to you. 5 a.m. Is that right? My goodness, thanks for joining us, Alan. Really appreciate that. Okay, we'll be looking at a few events from Bairandi as well. Thank you very much, Bairandi, from the Gumper map, of course. Let's have another look at another video from Veronica as well. I'm hoping so, which I didn't get around to showing because we talked so much last time she was on. This is what she sent ahead of herself, which I only now have the time to share with you.
Here's something fun that we did in the East Algarve, and it's an ongoing event. So this is Anna with Cooking with Anna.
In your house, with the best products, with the best presentation, and cook the meals then from Villa Real Santo Antônio.
Now you know that the fish is fresh. When you take a cooking class with Cooking with Anna, she starts off at the Mercado, the farmer's market, where you learn the best products and the best ingredients and go ahead and get them all gathered together for the cooking class. In this scenario, we visited the salt flats, which Castrum Rim is famous for their salt. Hey, the Romans, worth your weight in salt? Yeah, that's how they used to be paid. And this right here, my friends, huge secret. If you told somebody how the salt was made in Castrum Rim, that would be your head. So we got a special private tour of the salt and how this special salt is still made today. Next was learning how to cook with the salt, preparing the meals together, enjoying the meals together, and enjoying some wine. More on that in my video to come.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Veronica. Bon fin de semana to you. Natick, my favorite cheesecake factory. What is a CPK, I wonder? Look, go to bed, Alan. We're keeping you up. He'll go to sleep dreaming of cheesecake. I live next to Nima. Get a room or get a state, you two Massachusettsians. I'm not sure what you would call yourself, but great to see you chatting here. Gumpers, meeting Gumpers, Mr. S and Alan Martins there. Of Portuguese extraction, I'm guessing, with the Alan Martins, the California Pizza Kitchen in Massachusetts. How about that? Friday briefing then. Here comes Euro 24 fever. Thank you very much, Diogo, over at Portugal Decoded. Let's have a look at the briefing today. Sign up for yourself on Substack for this. I'm going to cut and paste that for you into the chat right now. I do recommend this news source to you. And if you get the chance to mention Good Morning Portugal, that'll be wonderful to him, so he knows where you're coming from. Good morning and welcome to Portugal Decoded then on May the 24th, where the countdown to Euro 2024 is on. Does Portugal stand a chance to win it? Of course it does, is the answer there. Last time won in 8 years ago in 2016. There's Cristiano, of course, at the front of the picture there. Might this be his last tournament? I know, maybe not. Maybe not. I shouldn't be saying things like that, should I? But of course, as he gets older, each one gets more arduous for him. Politics then. Chega's leader remark in Parliament about the Turks. Understandably has gone down very badly. You can read about that in Portugal Decoded here on Substack. Society following a 20-year dispute. I don't know what a dispute is, but a dispute here. The government has finally reached a deal with 7 teachers' unions over the recovery of frozen years of service. I had teachers like that who appeared to be frozen for several years. Economics, the Lisbon Labour Court has annulled the first ruling to recognise an employment contract between a courier and Uber because the court mistakenly notified Glovo instead. And that's in the economics section. Culture and sports then. Portugal residents will be entitled to 52 free visits, 1 a week, to 38 public museums. That's nice to know, isn't it? Monuments and palaces each year. The list includes Guimarães Castle, Porto's Soares de Reis National Museum, and the Belém Tower. Singer-songwriter Benjamin published a new song on social media inspired by the attack on a man by supporters of far-right RT Party. Don't know who they are. During a campaign event in Lisbon. So you might want to hear that. A link to it by singer-songwriter Benjamin over at portugaldecoded.substack.com. And let's have a quick look then. What's he saying about the Euro 24 Championship? There's a squad for Portugal. The coach is Roberto Martinez. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo will be there up front. Key qualifier stats then: 10 matches played, won all 10 of them, 100% record with a passing accuracy of 89.6. So let's have a look at the qualifiers then. Not the qualifiers, the matches, the friendlies, I should say. The qualifying's been done, hasn't it? Friendly matches to get going then. June the 4th versus Finland. June the 8th versus Croatia. And June the 11th versus Ireland. Oh, I wonder if Mr. O'Reilly will be going to that up there at the Aveiro Stadium. These are the stadiums that don't get used a lot, apart from these sorts of events and tournaments. First official match then will be in Leipzig against the Czech Republic, and June the 22nd versus Turkey in Dortmund, and on June the 26th, follow Portugal against Georgia at Gelsenkirchen. Best moment, worst moment, loving this, but I'll let you read those. I don't want to give all the game away, pardon the pun, from Diogo Lemos, who puts this wonderful newsletter together every week. What's that? A Gucci shoe as well, right? If you like your footwear, you might like to subscribe. And there's also a writing competition that continues until June the 1st. What a lovely man. What a great newsletter there. Thank you very much. That's on the screen for you now. PortugalDecoded.substack.com. I've got everything, says Mr. S. My building has a door to the mall. Lol. Love that. Wow. Yeah. Where have you ended up? That's where you're staying at the moment. I think you're on tour, aren't you? Have a great weekend from the Global Nobles. Hello. Lovely to see you here. And Pont Lima is inland and gets very busy in the summer, continuing with preparations for summer as Colleen kicked off for us. Some really good stuff that she came up with while she was here. She's with us every month, of course. Let's have a look at some of these events from Bairandi then. Thank you very much. And let's play this just one more time, shall we?
Bom dia, Portugal!
Well done. Thank you, Coach. Your video editing skills are awesome, as are your voiceover skills there. You trained yourself in video editing, especially to produce videos that we were able to share while you were over here in Portugal. So thank you very much. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your weekend, Coach Turner. Right, let's have a look at a few of these events then that are coming up in the Bairrada district. Of course, you can submit events from your own area on the Gumper map. And I'll put the link to that as well in the chat in just a moment. But you can access that at goodmorningportugal.com. Where are we? Are you a Gumper? Is it there? Is it? No, it's under the, I think it's under the Discover Portugal. Have a little rummage for yourself. Because I actually can't remember where I've put the Gumper map over at goodmorningportugal.com. Andy knows it. He updates it on a regular basis. And he's got a few screenshots for us from the Gumper map this morning. Lovely things going on as we begin the party season, the 3-generation party season that is awesome here in Portugal. Goodmorningportugal.com. Find the Gumper map there. First of the events then, we've got a fantastic day out, cycle and lunch at Cordinha in Cantanhede. Cycle to a fantastic river beach. Of course, Colleen was talking about the river beaches inland in Portugal. Another brilliantly well-kept secret here. That's a river beach lake at Olhos de Favença through the stunning Bairrada. Don't forget your cozy, then back for lunch. €15 for a cycle, breakfast and lunch. €15, €10 just for the lunch. Details on the poster there, and that's happening on Sunday. We've got Zumba and Walk in Gafanha, then in Canação as Ilhavo in aid of Cancer Awareness Week. Join in the fun there. And also a Festa de Fava, the Fava Bean Festival. Nice one, a bit of Chianti, I understand, in Troviscal Bairrada there. And I think there are a few Fava Bean festivals around Portugal at this time of year. Festival in Canheira Bairrada, another one there with São Geraldo. We've got a local village festival, including a philharmonic orchestra concert and a mini band. That will be beautiful, won't it? Imagine that. Picture the scene. A little Portuguese village with a philharmonic concert from an orchestra there and a mini band concert as well. A lot of music in a lovely environment. What a vibe that'll be. Fantastic. Super festival at the lovely lake of Ferramentelos. Bars, restaurants, bands, DJs, artisan fair, gymnastics. That's an interesting inclusion. Gymnastics as well, guided walks, plus much more at the Festa of Ferramentelos there. Bairrada leading the way. Festival of Soups there. A Sopa Festival. Festival of Soups at Boialvo in Anadia. Love Anadia, not far from Meliada, of course, where all the Leitão restaurants are, the golden mile of Leitão restaurants. And finally for this morning, thanks, Andy, for these. In Val de Ilhavo in the Bairrada district, close to the Boco River and the fantastic Vista Alegre. Well worth a visit. That's a ceramics factory up there in the north in this super festival in the bread-making capital of central Portugal, Val de Ilhavo. I didn't know it was the bread-making capital. You learn a lot, don't you, on the Good Morning Portugal show, including that. I learn a lot, and I actually present the show. Thank you, Bairrandi. It is, of course, a community effort here. And that's why we're learning so much with all this information coming in from all over the world, basically. Belfast, Hertfordshire, and the Bairrada district, courtesy of Bairandi himself. Andy, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. I know you've got a busy weekend coming up, Bairandi, so thank you for taking the time to include all of these events for us that we're sharing this morning on the Good Morning Portugal show. Another date for your diary if you want to come to San Martinho de Porto, to the next Storytellers Palace special, where you meet the producers and eat an absolutely an epic Epicurean extravaganza. Welcome drink, wine tasting, unique tasting menu. And as it turns out, this is a new addition to this particular event that's happening on the 7th of June. You've got Domingos Soares Franco is the wine producer. And now I learned that we have a violinist, Barbara Bernardino, joining us as well. So live violin, and the food will be amazing. Lovely lunch there last Wednesday, and an amazing dinner this will be from 7 o'clock on the 7th of June, the latest in the 13 at the table wine pairing evenings. DSF are the producer. Is he Algarvian? I think he might be. The private collection of DSF with the man himself, Domingos Soares Franco. Okay, let's see if we've got any more comments before we conclude and wish you. We're putting the sex in sexta-feira today and wishing you a bon fin semana. Not only busy, says Mr. S, they might kick us out of the country if IMA doesn't renew residency permits. Enjoy the now. That's always good advice, isn't it? Enjoying the now. And that's what me and Mrs. M will be doing soon, is encouraging people to enjoy the now in our new show for a subscription TV service in the United States. We are joining the team at Ethereal TV, and we'll be doing a daily show called The Moment, where we talk about, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there, Mr. S, enjoying the now and enjoying the moment. It's not going to happen. When I was talking to Gilda last night, the new government inherited that end of June deadline for when they kicked it down the street originally, the last government, and I don't think there's going to be a problem. Talking to Gilda last night, I'm thinking there isn't going to be a problem with that. They'll just extend that period, that grace period. I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just another one of the problems that the new government has inherited, and this is what happens, of course, when administrations change. It's just another thing. Now that the party, the honeymoon is over for the new government, these are all the things that they're having to deal with. I'm wishing you a vida boa. This is my article for the Portugal Resident. It's probably online in the next 24 hours or so. It's certainly in the print paper. And Mrs. M is here with the electric tennis racket to kill the fly that's been in here for the last 90 minutes. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the a vida boa here in Portugal. And if you're going to any of those events, don't forget to maybe take us a couple of pictures or record a little bit of video, and we'll be glad to share it with you on Monday when we begin our new summer hours, broadcasting between 9 and 10 in the morning. And of course, remember that we're available online 24/7 at GMP VIP, and I'm sure there'll be a bit of chatting going on there from 8:30 in the mornings. But you can connect with the community at theportugalclub.com. If you're finding that an hour a day is not enough for you, join us at theportugalclub.com. So let me just check to make sure I've included everything that was meant to be included this morning. Thanks to Clean, thanks to Antonio. He's our new friend, and I do hope he will call us from various parts of Portugal to give us a little bit of an update. This was the week in which we saw the amazing meteorite flying through the skies of Portugal, and last night to discover that it was actually a celebration of Sporting Lisbon's champion status from both Daniel Reis and Nuno Mendes in the colours of the club, of course, of green light flashing through the sky. Have a great weekend, amigo. Bon fin semana. Ciao, ciao, and bye for now. And we'll look forward to seeing you again on Monday. So let's go and put the kettle on and have a cup of tea and begin a fun weekend. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.